This is our 1979 Ford Fairmont, and when it was new 46 years ago, this was the cheapest car in America.
And we are taking it on a cross-country road trip across Route 66.
From Chicago all the way to Los Angeles, this car has so far made it all the way here to the end of Oklahoma. It's unbelievable. And somehow we managed to buy the nicest Ford Fairmont in existence. We paid $3,400 on Facebook Marketplace for this car, and it is absolutely mint. We've got just over 58,000 original miles.
It's in such good condition that the oil pan in the engine is still the original Ford blue.
And in fact, this car is so original, this is the original windshield. There's even an inspection sticker from 1981 still on the corner.
It's just incredible.
Now, we should mention that it being original did have some downsides.
Yeah.
We found out in our last video that the rear brakes were original from 1979.
And when we say original, we don't just mean they were never upgraded. We mean, no, the actual pads were from 1979. They were so original, in fact, that they still had the Ford sticker over the pins that you needed to.
Did they really?
Yep.
I didn't see that.
Yep.
So what was the cheapest car in America actually like 46 years ago? Well, as it turns out, it was pretty nice.
It was really nice. It was a lot nicer than the current cheapest car in America.
The Nissan Versa?
Yep.
First of all, we absolutely love this paint combination. We've got a two-tone white and blue with a hand-painted coach line. And I'm pretty sure it is hand-painted because you can kind of see some splotchiness in it. But the interior is spectacular.
The interior really is where this car shines. We've got blue with wood effect and just the most comfortable cloth seats. You even get a jewel case that displays a coat of arms of some sort. We don't know what the coat of arms is for, but it is there. And more to the point, this car came with a decent amount of features for 1979. First of all, you got air conditioning. You also got a very good stereo with fader, so you can adjust it from left to right. It's just excellent. I mean, what more do you need? You've got manual windows, which will never go wrong. You've got manual mirrors, which will never go wrong. Everything works, apart from the fuel gauge. Granted, that's like 25% of the car's features, but still, that's the only thing that's gone wrong with it.
Technically, there is another feature that we've lost, and that is unfortunately the air conditioning. It works, but the idler pulley is giving way, so we've had to take the belt off.
Yep.
So unfortunately, now that we're in the desert, we have no air conditioning.
But I should explain, we are now in the border town of Texola. This is a historic, semi-abandoned town, I would say. It's got about 30 people, according to the 2020 census. It has a very interesting history, which begins with this. Would you like to know what this is?
I've heard of this.
Have
This
you?
is the one-room jail room.
It is indeed, yes. Now, the town was established in the early 1900s, and it quickly blossomed because it had an entire agricultural industry. And with the arrival of Route 66, the town's population exploded to almost 600 people in 1930.
600?
600. At one point,
York City.
they even had an auditorium with 300 seats.
Wow.
Which they expanded twice, up until the 1970s when I-40 was built. Then things got really depressing, because by 1980, this was a town of 104 residents. By 1990, it was a town of 56 residents.
Oh my gosh.
And today, it's a town of 30 residents. But anyways, yes, this is a very good example of how small this town is. This was their idea of a jail. It's just one room. That's all you need. You've got one criminal in each small town.
Can we go in?
He lives in here. Ooh. Oh my God. Do you know why you wouldn't want to be imprisoned here?
Why is that?
The police department was a mile away.
So they just put you in here and then left?
Yes. So you could be in here, your leg is bleeding, you could be calling for help, banging on the bars. Nobody would hear you.
But look, this is part of what we wanted to experience and why we're doing this road trip in our 1979 Ford Fairmont. The thing about Route 66 is the mythology has been around longer than the actual route was populated.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're kind of exploring the transition period of both Route 66 and the car industry in the late 1970s in America.
We're driving through America's forgotten towns in America's forgotten car.
Yeah. With more than 1,300 miles to go before the finish line in Santa Monica, California, we had a lot of driving to do, so we got on the road and headed for the border with Texas. This is it, the Great American Road Trip. There's so many towns along Route 66 like this.
Yeah.
The highways got put in, and then it just dried up overnight.
That was the point. This entire town blew up because of Route 66. Fall of 1970, the north section of I-44 was completed, and then nobody came through here anymore. This is it. This is it.
That's Texas.
Texas is here. Wow, the road condition changes enormously. Oh.
We gotta take a picture of the car with that.
Yep.
There it is.
Texas. Oh, look there.
Yes.
Where else could you just stand on the highway? This is actually, I think, one of the best road trips anyone can ever do. Because you're going through time. That's incredible.
Oh, good.
This
I
is
was getting a
basically
bit thirsty.
what our car is.
It was a leaf, you idiot.
Oh, I thought it was a bug. That's a very two-dimensional sip there.
People moved to California on this road. This is the great American road trip out west, and now look, it's just empty.
It's just... Time is a very horrible thing.
It is. In many ways, this car is just like Route 66.
Pretty much,
was
yeah.
Designed to fit a purpose at a time and not really think about what would happen after its purpose was served. But here it is, 46 years later.
Up ahead, Route 66 merged alongside the interstate, and we continued our very 1970s road trip.
Our temporary plate is flapping. We have to put the windows up.
How are we gonna...
We're gonna have to...
What, just...
I mean, the roll up with...
God.
Can you reach?
Yep.
Yep, there we go. Okay. This is motoring in the 70s.
This really is motor. Next stop, Shamrock, Texas.
Shamrock?
Shamrock.
Do they have shakes?
No. Everything about this car is raw. The fact the window is down is also raw.
I know, I love having my arm out the window like this.
I can't do that. The sun's coming this way, so I have to hide it.
You didn't put sunscreen on a road trip through Texas. You idiot.
This car may have a blue interior and a red driver. Can you imagine what it must have been like when just this road was here? None of that was there, just this.
Honestly, it would have been scary. What if you get robbed?
That was a thing. Maybe not on Route 66, but when...
I mean, highway robbery.
That was the only crime you could do back then.
Pretty much.
Yep.
I mean, what crimes are there to commit out here? Grand larceny of fields?
Yep.
Oh no, he's in my field.
Oh no, he's in my field. Oh dear.
Soon we pulled into Shamrock to visit the world-famous Conoco gas station, which is now a cafe.
It's Mater! And right behind him are Tesla superchargers. That'll be $2.
Perfect.
That was delicious.
That was very, very good.
Can I drive?
No.
I haven't driven it in a long time.
Thanks for opening the door for me. Very good. Excellent.
Thanks. Oh, I love this car.
The next stop that Andrew had lined up was surprising.
Was he really that big?
He must have been 300 feet tall.
Yeah.
Look, it's the Last Supper.
I'm Saint Simon. Who are you?
I'm St. James.
St. James?
Yes.
Why didn't they have chairs in antiquity?
I hate to be a nuisance, but could you pass the salt?
Oh, God. St. Thomas, give it to St. Nathaniel.
St. Jude?
Why is nobody speaking to us? Is that
Saint
Jesus
Rude.
in the middle? Why are there three Jesuses?
I remember this from church school. That it was Jesus was in the middle, and then there were two other just random thief guys that were there being crucified at the same time.
Were their names not as marketable as Jesus?
No, Stephen, Todd. Let's bow our heads, I need to pray.
Yep.
Our Lincoln, who art in heaven, Georgia be thy name. Thine engine blow up. Thine gearbox did not. On the highway as it is in heaven.
Our Joe, who art in heaven.
He's not in heaven, he's fine. He's in Greece.
Our Joe, who was almost in heaven.
Yep.
Hallowed be thy radiator fan.
A few miles down the road from the Father, the Son, and the Holy Radiator Fan, we found the most famous Route 66 landmark, Cadillac Ranch.
I've always wanted to come here. I mean, you can tell by the taillights, these are
fins.
the early 50s. It's a 52, 54.
Look at the leaf springs, and you can see where the spare wheel was.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and the penis.
I think I see the problem here. The diff's locked.
A bit, yeah. But see, this is what I like about this place. The artist came here and he said, right, I'm gonna do some art.
Yeah.
But then I won't stop people from adding to it.
No, exactly.
And it has become a thing of beauty.
It's a living, breathing, almost a geological, and the paint is constantly being refreshed so they never rust.
Do you know what's funny, by the way?
What's that?
When the artist put these in, these cars were worth nothing.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
And now,
That's true.
one of these cars in good shape is worth thousands. Isn't that funny?
You can just smell the mixture of spray paint and manure. It's an olfactory treat.
Experience, yeah.
This has been a childhood dream come true.
And when we got back to the Fairmont, well, another dream had come true.
Oh my God, it's back!
It's back!
Lazarus has risen!
That just went up as we started the engine.
Oh my God.
We've got a fuel gauge.
The next milestone of the day was a big one. In the small town of Adrian, Texas, lies the halfway point of Route 66.
This is a momentous occasion.
It really, really is.
We've now done 1,100 miles.
This car didn't just do the 1,100 miles from Chicago. It also did the 500 or so miles from where we were in the beginning.
Yeah, it did.
The positioning
We've
drive.
done about 1,500 miles in this car.
Yeah.
This is
hang on a
it.
second.
Is that
This
the
is
sign?
It. This is it. This is the sign. Yeah. This is it. This is it. Midway point. I've stopped
my
right
God.
before the marker on the ground.
I actually am tingling. Look, this is a midway podium. Should I give a speech?
You can actually give a speech, yes.
1,139 miles in a car that hasn't left the state of Ohio. Literally, never left the state of Ohio.
Ever. Yep.
A car that was never designed for something like this, and now it's halfway done.
And here we are. Actually, technically, we haven't crossed it yet.
No, you're right.
I'm gonna do that now.
Carry on. We did it!
We've done it!
Halfway! Can I just say, I genuinely love this car with every fiber of my being.
I really do as well. It's so special.
Nobody has ever cared about a Ford Fairmont as much as we care about this one.
Yep.
Good evening.
We've asked a lot.
And we're continuing to ask ostensibly twice as much.
Again, the same amount that we asked the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Oh. Speed is, my face is coming
neck
off.
is snapped.
Snapped.
We are taking this car on a celebratory trip as much as it is taking us on one.
I mean, it came out of the factory thinking, well, okay, I'll be used for 3 years, then scrapped.
And it never got a chance to stretch its legs.
Never.
It was in a
Never,
garage,
never,
it was
never.
loved, and we appreciate that it was cared for.
Absolutely.
But now we're taking it and we're saying, let's go do something great.
With our classic road trip really starting to come together, we crossed the border into New Mexico, heading for Albuquerque, and all that was left to do was enjoy the sunset. The next morning, it was time for our classic car checks.
I've brought a thing so we can check the fluids.
Good holder.
Yep. If you're thinking of becoming a classic car owner,
This is sort of what it's like.
yep. Oh dear, it's one-ply toilet paper. It's gone on my hands.
In we go.
Testing
Let
it
it
out.
ruminate.
Okay, transmission fluid, perfect.
Oil, perfect.
Oil is perfect?
Yes. Look at that, it looks like espresso.
Excellent.
Just what you want to see.
So we have a theory that there is a bit of a leak around the valve cover gasket. But I
Not a
think-
substantial
Not
one.
a substantial one because
We
there
could
is
see some seepage, but
It's weeping.
I think we're maybe losing an ounce or two.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
But anyways, today our drive is pretty small anyways. We've got a nice relaxed day going into Arizona.
I'm very excited.
I am as well.
First though, let's do our startup procedure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now the startup procedure here is very simple. We put the key in, press the throttle once, that closes the choke.
Pump.
We pump the gas
Yeah.
3 times fully to the floor to put lots of gas in. All right, I'm just sort of resting my
Foot
foot.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna close the bonnet and we can get on the way. Engine needs to warm up. It's actually so small, it doesn't actually produce any heat. In fact, when we are on the highway and we run the heater, it's quite weak.
All right, time to go.
What are you doing?
We gotta get on the road. We've got a lot of miles to
yeah,
we
yeah.
got lots of things to
I'm
see.
the pilot. I'm the
No, no.
pilot flying. You're pilot monitoring.
Look where I'm sitting though.
Well, I guess
Get in, we have to go.
he's driving, so we're about to make it about 100 miles and then he'll blow it up.
I can't believe I'm in the driver's seat. I've been looking forward to driving this car for ages. I don't know what it is, but this is the cheapest car that I've ever bought, and I love it.
It's quite a chuckable car. If it had a bit more power.
Well, look, I mean, this is a Fox body car. A lot of people would mod these. People drag race these, they put Mustang engines in them, and it's not hard to see why.
Speaking of Fox body, why is it called a Fox body?
You know, I actually don't know.
So, in the late 70s, Audi brought over the Audi 80 to America. But they didn't call it the Audi 80 because Americans don't like cars with numbers in them.
Fair
You
enough.
guys like names.
We do.
They called it the Audi Fox.
The Sure-Footed Fox by Audi.
Really?
And Ford wanted a competitor to the Audi Fox. And so that's why
Wow!
it's called a Fox body. I mean, apart from all the old car things, like having to start it up and warm it up and all that stuff,
And the fact that it is extraordinarily slow.
and unsafe, I
Yeah.
would actually daily drive it.
I would.
Genuinely, I would.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
I love this blue dashboard.
The sort of deep water blue,
Yeah,
glistening
and then this piece down here, it's sort of like an aquamarine.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
almost a little sparkle in it. It's
There it is.
really
It's
lovely.
sparkling down there. It's tremendous. With our sparkly knobs here.
As we left Albuquerque, we had an ambitious target for the day. We wanted to reach Flagstaff by nightfall, and with plenty of landmarks to see along the way, we needed to make progress quickly.
Oh God, we have to merge. Oh, sorry. Oh God, we're not. This is it. This is foot to the floor. That's all it has.
62.
Yep. 10 years before this car was made, they had 8-liter V8s with 350 horsepower, and then now we have a 2.3 liter with 86.
We're in a road trip now.
Oh my God, we're picking up radio on the radio.
Oh my God! The wind's on the outside.
You can feel the whole car. You know what would make this even more of a road trip?
Go on.
Gambling. Honestly, not bad. Turned 20 into 75.
Yeah, I did this exact same thing. This is tremendous. If anyone needs money, go to a casino. This is not financial
No,
advice.
no.
This is not financial advice. Where the hell's the car?
Where
Have we pawned it in and we didn't know?
did we?
Can you honk it with the key fob?
No, you have to treat it like a cat.
A few miles down the road, we found another preserved section of Route 66 with absolutely jaw-dropping scenery.
New Mexico, you beautiful thing.
Can you just imagine being here in the 60s, no interstate, you're just on these rural back roads with nothing there. And then eventually a town comes along and you have no choice but to go to those local businesses.
Establishments, yeah,
There's nothing
restaurants.
else.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked to a woman last night at the halfway point who was talking about how many of the businesses have gone under since COVID.
Yeah,
because obviously putting in the interstates was one thing, but now even since the last 5 years, there's so many fewer people traveling out here that they're not going to these businesses anymore.
Yeah, I find it extraordinarily sad.
A few miles down the road, we found another classic Ford just like ours in every single way, parked in front of the El Rancho Hotel, an iconic Route 66 landmark where we stopped for lunch. Unfortunately, getting back on the highway meant my least favorite activity in the Fairmont, an unprotected left.
Everybody go home. Why are you here? Opportunity, 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 opportunity. Oh, I'm just going, sorry.
Back on the highway, we were now entering Arizona. And we simply couldn't continue without stopping at the world-famous TP Trading Post.
Time after time.
Ooh, rocks. What? I always like when there's rocks at a gift store. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, more rocks.
What have you seen here? Signs.
Lots of rocks there.
No, look, the signs.
Oh, yeah.
California, 66. I know you blew up your car.
You bought me a new one.
I've bought you another one.
Is it a wind-up?
You wind me up.
See, this is what road tripping was about. You'd take a quick break to go in a TP and buy some rocks.
Yeah.
That's a good rock.
It's a good rock.
You see
isn't it?
that? You don't get
find
rocks
this at
Subway.
a Taco Bell on the corner of the road on some highway.
This is better.
This is just much better.
All right, next stop.
Let's do it.
With a few hours to kill, we decided to go through the owner's manual.
Can I also just point out that we have the original Ford branded bag that you would have gotten at the dealer.
Yep. All of the graphics are so nicely done. They're all black and white. Line graphics.
So
it's so nice.
My Lincoln had one just like that.
Did it?
Yeah.
What happened to it? This is important for us. New car break-in. Your new car will not require an extensive break-in, although we recommend you limit your maximum speed to 55 miles an hour.
Well, we're limiting to that speed because it's slow.
It's naturally limited. What warranty do we have that's left? There it is, 1979, limited warranty.
Look at that card.
A facts booklet. Okay, limited warranty, 12 months or 12,000 miles on new 1979 Ford passenger cars and light trucks.
Wait a minute, a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty?
Yep.
Do you know, if they sold that today, people would revolt. That really shows you how different cars are today.
Yep.
The next morning began as usual.
Okay, oil.
ATF.
Oh yeah, very good.
Very good?
It's actually above the safe level. Very nice.
Excellent. Coolant.
Oh yes.
This is like those child safety medicine bottles that
Yeah,
I can
pretty
never
much.
get open. Is it
Why?
pushed down like Tylenol?
Oh yes, it is.
Ah.
Oh, there it is. Good. Oh wow, that's plenty.
But today's bigger obstacle is elevation, because carbureted engines lose about 3% of their power every 1,000 feet you gain, right?
That's in the best case scenario.
That's a best case.
This is old.
And we are now at almost 7,000 feet above sea level, which means yesterday, as we were climbing, it was becoming less of a dooga 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 and more of a dooga 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 dooga. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The top speed was what, 50?
Wow.
Why is it smooth?
It's great. Why don't we tap the gas and see if it'll go down to the mid-idle. Look at that, perfect. Yep, look at this though. At the lower idle, it's a little bit rougher. I think that's what we were experiencing because we were coming into elevation with it already warmed up.
That's true.
Oh.
Can't even shut a bonnet right.
Shut up. Let's go.
As we got the Fairmont up to speed, today's first stop of the day was a detour. While the Grand Canyon isn't technically on Route 66, it's become associated with it because it's frankly not that far away, and since neither of us had ever been, we decided to check it out.
Losing speed. Losing speed. 54.
Foot hard down?
Foot hard down. If I do it any harder, I have to overtake on it.
Overtaking on a hill?
I have to do it.
Wow. This is remarkable speed.
52, 52. We're losing speed. 52. This is more accurate than this.
Oh my God.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Going in front of the truck.
Elevation is quite stressful.
What did you do to this car? It had power when I last drove it.
We went up.
This is terrible.
So this car started out with 87 horsepower in 1979. Let's assume it's been well cared for and all 87 are alive and well. Each 1,000 feet, we're losing 3% of our horses. They go to sleep. And now at 7,000 feet, we are down to just 70 remaining horses.
I suspect that 70 horses is what it has to begin with at sea level.
So you think we're under 50?
I think we're at 46.
Good.
Oh, there it is, there it is.
I've seen that from planes, but I've never seen it over here.
Yeah, I have many pictures from plane windows.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I feel like I'm in an Apple Vision Pro.
Apple TV wallpaper.
Holy hell.
That's extraordinary. We're seeing many things on our grand tour.
Anyone who wants to cut the National Park Service, they could be shot, as far as I'm concerned. It's slippery there.
I complained paying $35, but I'm not complaining anymore.
No.
This was worth it.
Well worth it.
Every penny.
The most incredible part about it is all of that was done by water.
Yeah. Well,
Just a stream.
Yeah, the even more incredible part is that where we're standing now would be where the river would have been.
Yeah. At one point, it was just a creek, and it did all of that.
Somebody was putting in water in their radiator, and it slipped out. And
the coolant drained out of the Lincoln.
And then look what...
And it did that. I have to say, these seats are remarkably comfortable.
Oh yeah.
We've spent a lot of time in them.
Yep. Well, let me put it to you this way. This is acres better than the Volkswagen camera car that we have.
The 3 times that I've ridden in that car for 10 minutes.
Pain.
Horrible. At some point here, eventually, we are going off the highway again and back onto the historic part.
Correct, yes.
Is that what our next stop is here?
Yes, but before anybody starts to write comments to us about, oh, you're not doing historic Route 66, the highway is labeled as historic Route 66.
This is it.
This is it.
Fortunately, a few miles later, we found that historic route we were looking for.
This is what a Route 66 road trip is all about.
This is it. Hands
Window
out
down.
the window. Yep.
Oh.
It's just pure bliss. I mean, again, I get the highways, I get the, efficiency, speed, but if you're doing a road trip, take the local road.
Oh yeah.
Take the long way home.
As sad as I am about the Lincoln, this car is heroic doing this trip.
And can I just say, I'm actually quite glad that I'm not in this car alone doing this, because I think it's more fun to have a road trip with a friend or whoever it is, just to go along.
Whoever it is, just some random guy.
Or you're just a guy.
Yeah.
And I am very excited about the town of Seligman that we're coming into now.
Me too.
Because this is one of the world famous Route 66 towns.
Arizona has done a really good job of trying to preserve as much of the Route 66 history as possible.
Yeah.
The other thing on this bit here is you can see the original telephone poles. And these ones even still have the glass insulators on them. Can you see that?
Oh my
That's
goodness,
amazing.
you're right, yeah.
So these are really original. Train! Train!
Train!
Oh!
Train!
This is a postcard.
Yep.
It really is.
We are in a postcard.
A bug came in and hit me. How authentic is that?
Oh, this is it. This is the outskirts of Seligman.
We are now pulling into Seligman.
This is it.
Oh God. I hate turning left in this car.
I don't think we're gonna have much of a problem though here.
Opportunity! Opportunity!
Face ripping.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh!
I gotta
the
recover.
speed.
Gotta recover. There it is.
Oh. I've clawed my head back up.
Oh, good. Look at that. Birthplace of historic Route 66, Azerona. Wow. That's incredible.
You can just feel the history here.
And isn't this so much nicer than all the corporate towns that we have today?
So much better.
It's a town. It's got history. It's got
the
culture.
Rusty Bolt.
Look at this.
Oh.
It's just incredible.
We pulled over to take a walk back in time.
See, the thing is, Route 66 was not the first transcontinental highway. That was the Lincoln Highway, which went from New York all the way to the West Coast in California. Right. But Cyrus Avery, he was a genius, the father of Route 66, and he said, what if we had a more southerly route that went to California? It was warmer, it was a better climate for truck drivers.
Interesting.
And he also had the idea to run it through all of these little towns along the way to bring life and travelers and business to them. So this whole, like, the myth of Route 66 was intentional. It didn't just happen.
It was completely intentional
Exactly.
all the time.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a brilliant man.
Huh.
And look, I mean, here we are 100 years later. This was all, by the way, before the 1920s that he had this idea.
Yeah.
And
He
now
was
look.
definitely forward thinking.
Look at this.
Is that a Morris Minor?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Why is that here?
Have you seen Her Majesty's in it?
Her Majesty.
Look.
I think that's Betty White.
Oh my
Holy
God.
moly.
Wait a minute, this is a Crossley.
It is a Crossley. Look how small it is.
I know a bit about these. They were exactly wide enough to fit through a shop's door.
I can tell.
I think some of our viewers may already know that.
I really like that sign over there that just says, "Okay, used cars." How are your used cars?
Okay.
Cool. They're all right.
They're okay. It's the modern Ford Thunderbird, which I quite like.
You like that?
It looks cool.
I don't think so. It's by TT. Look.
Nobody's interested. Look at that. Look, look, look. It's a Lincoln badge.
Oh, it is.
You could have that.
What, because I don't have the car, I could just have the badge?
Exactly.
As we pulled out of Seligman, we got to enjoy what is the largest preserved section of Route 66 in the country.
I'm not familiar with this one.
I've brought you here because it has a hell of a story.
Okay.
Back in the 1960s, there was a traveling artist across Route 66 called Bob Waldmeyer. He traveled the road multiple times with his 1970s microbus, came across this dilapidated general store, and he thought, I'm having it, with the condition that he will keep it in the same dilapidated state.
Oh.
So he was the only one that had a store in this region, which currently has a population of 0. Zero. He sold it in the late 90s, and he made the new owner promise that he wouldn't restore it.
Wow.
It must be kept in this original state. And then that person sold it to the current owner
Okay.
and made them promise it cannot be restored. Travelers can come here, add stickers to the walls, and it's just a reminder that sometimes in life, it's okay to be a little rusty.
Rough around the edges.
Exactly.
Not our car, though. Our car is perfect.
Yes. Our car's not that.
No, no, no.
The
No.
Plymouth I bought was like that.
And it's exactly as mobile as this.
Yeah.
As the sun went down, we got back on the road with just one more stop for the day.
We've been hitting up all of the classic Americana gift shops with cowboy hats, root beer floats, neon signs, outrageous pink and blue.
No, it is very good. I very much like it.
Oh, people should do this more.
And your grandmother's
Yes,
chandelier.
every single grandmother had that fan.
Yes.
Every single one.
And they would refuse to use air conditioning. They would just
no.
go tink. and
Well,
it
we
would
got
just...
the fan.
Yeah, exactly.
87 degrees and 100% humidity. Well, there's a fan.
There's a fan.
That's all you need.
Done. Works. That's it. Yeah.
We finished off our marathon day with a quick drive over to Laughlin, Nevada, where we spent the night in advance of our final day on the road. We began our final day in the customary fashion, and then it was time to hit the road. As we crossed the Sacramento Mountains into California, we were excited about the day to come, but not long after, there was a problem.
All right, well, we are just about 275 miles away from Santa Monica, but we've got a new issue, and it's one that is making me a little nervous, but I think we're gonna be okay. We're hearing pinging from the engine. And basically, it's like a rattling sound. The cause for it, there's a couple of things that could be contributing to it, but effectively the result is we're not getting enough octane into our fuel mixture.
Problem is this. I cannot use more than 50% of the accelerator for fear of damaging the engine, because it does make the pistons quite hot, apparently.
Yeah.
Because the fuel ignites before or after.
The fuel is igniting too quickly.
That.
So we basically just find a gas station and put as much premium fuel as we can fit in the tank. And just keep doing that to increase the overall octane level.
Why does this always happen at the end? In
I
Berlin,
know.
I overheated in a tunnel.
You did?
A kilometer away from the end point. For God's sake.
Good.
Fortunately, as we entered the Mojave Desert, we found the last gas station for the next 70 miles.
Right, well, the gas is $8 a gallon, but they at least do have a reason for it.
This is the most expensive gas I've ever put in. Only took 2 gallons. Okay, we've been on the road for a few minutes here. Hopefully those 2 gallons of premium are coursing through. Let's slow down a little bit and then give it some throttle.
I'm gonna go down to 55.
Okay.
All right, so we can hear it a bit
All right,
better.
that's good.
That's good. Here we go.
Yeah.
Now. We've mended it.
Genuinely.
Fixed. Look, I can go uphill.
Yeah, we're going uphill, full throttle.
I can finally use the accelerator again, because before I could only go eek.
With our engine running smooth, we pulled off onto a historic section of Route 66 and hit the pavement. We were now down to just the last 100 miles of our gargantuan 2,400-mile road trip, and soon the harsh desert gave way to lush green mountains and a more urban environment, which for us meant it was time for our triumphant anthem.
Umberto is with us,
Molto
guiding us to
bene.
victory.
Arrivederci Los Angeles.
Arrivederci,
Umberto.
ti sai, Umberto.
Fermonte, very good.
Ah, molto bene, automobili.
And then, just a few miles later,
I think I see it.
Oh my God, you're right.
I think I see it.
That is it. There it is.
Oh
There
my
it is.
God.
There it is. Straight ahead. We are literally driving towards it.
There's the Maze Bank Tower.
There it is.
I'm getting goosebumps.
I am as well. I'm just completely staggered we've made it.
We picked this car up in Ohio.
Yep.
A week and a half ago.
When it was snowing.
And it was snowing.
Yep.
There was snow in this car just a couple of days ago.
Yep.
In Ohio.
Yep.
And now we are at the Pacific Ocean.
This magnificent journey felt like both a year and a minute. Starting way back in Ohio, where we bought and then promptly blew up an old Plymouth, to our blustery start day in Chicago, a tragedy in Missouri when my Lincoln blew up, and a fresh start for the remainder of our trip.
If I could give a description to all the cars that we've gone through.
Yeah.
Off camera, we had that Plymouth, which was terrifically loud and fast. If I had to liken them to a band, the Plymouth is the drummer. Because you know, every 70s rock band, they went through drummers like water. It just sort of, every season they had a new one because the other one would overdose. That was the Plymouth. The Lincoln was the lead singer. Class leading, Maria Callas.
Yeah.
Just everybody loved it, everybody turned heads, and then suddenly dies mysteriously one night. The Fairmont is the bass guitarist. It's the person who even the die-hard fans don't know the name of.
You're right.
And he's still alive today, he's 75 years old, and he's here.
In a normal road trip, the car is not really a part of the adventure.
No.
The car is just a tool to get you there. But this whole time, we've had to plan. How are we going to accelerate to make it over the next hill? How do we get this overtake? We're working with the car, not just driving it.
Exactly. It's an integral part of it.
Oh, the beach.
Holy hell.
Oh, this is
We've
amazing.
done it! The coast is there!
The ocean! The ocean!
I can't believe this has happened.
No, I'm touching it. It's
In
real.
my mind, we're still on the side of the road with Georgia dead.
Yeah. Look, I've been to this pier many times before, but this is the first time that I felt like
Yeah.
I've earned it.
We came here last month.
Yeah, we
in
did.
fact. God, this is incredible. We've actually reached the very end.
That's it.
There's nothing
Pacific
else.
Ocean. It's such a special feeling. More people should do this road trip, genuinely. It doesn't matter if it's in a rented Camry or a Nissan Versa or a Ford Fairmont. More people should do this road trip.
Seriously, it's been life-altering. It's a
Yeah, it's a rite of
necessary.
passage.
It's a rite of passage. It's like going to the Eiffel Tower, but better.
I'll tell you what, though. There's only one thing left to do. We need to celebrate the only way that I know how. Let's get some food.
Let's do it.